Hello, hello. Welcome, followers. This is Renee Rutten, and we are continuing now with our Canva training, and this is day 5. Today, we're going to talk about frames, grids. We're going to overlay some more text, and we're going to show you how to resize an entire graphic so that you can make one like for Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook without a lot of redoing. You're going to have to tweak a little bit, but you'll save a lot of time by being able to do that. So let's hop over to our Canva account. And the first thing that we need to do was just pick a format. And I'm just going to pick an Instagram post. It doesn't really matter where we start. But we're going to go to Elements. And up in here, we're going to type Frames. And let it load here. I am down in the basement, so I'm a little ways from my internet connection, so it makes it just a little bit trickier. But this is some of the frames that are available to you, and they're really cool, the different things that you can do. So first of all, let's pull a picture into some of these frames so that you can see how they work. So I'm clicking on pictures over here. Now I'm not picking anything in particular here. I'm just going to throw some stuff in here. But I'm just grabbing this one of Robin Roberts and putting it into that torn looking frame. Now I've kind of got her eyes cut off, so I'm just going to double click and I'm going to pull it down. I don't really care about the name. I'm more interested in her face. And then I'm going to say done. So I've got a full view of her face there. What else do I have here? How about we pick this dude here? Okay, so I double clicked on that. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have drug it over so that it actually would fill that frame. And once again, I've got his top of his head chopped off a little bit. And maybe that's about the best we can do, but I'm going to pull it here just a little bit so I have his forehead and his lips. Now these pictures might not be the exact perfect ones to be using, but it just kind of gives you an idea of things that you can do with frames. Okay, so let's get rid of those two and let's go back to the elements where we have the frames loaded. Okay, so here are round frames. You can do the exact same thing. Go to your uploads and just pick a picture and it will fill that space for you automatically. Okay, let's go back to frames, elements. Okay, frames. Here is some cool thing that you can do. And this is like, I have a granddaughter named Ava. And well, I have several grandchildren and I love them all dearly, but Ava's name is really short. So I am going to use her as an example because she has a short little name. So let's put her name in here and kind of like that V, just a little bit larger than the other letters. Okay, so what would be perfect is if I had a bunch of pictures of Ava loaded into my Canva, which I don't. So I'm just going to grab what I do have here. So let's see how this fills, that image fills that space. Now I was hoping, okay, so you might have noticed that just now I had them all selected and I couldn't double click and move this image. But if you click off of it, that selection goes away and then you can click just the box you want to work with. Now I can double click it and I can move this so that I'm showing more of her face. Okay, let's grab this gal here and you have to kind of play with it and get it to fit in there just right. Okay, so I'm going to move it over so we have her eyeballs there. Okay, so you're getting the idea of how this works and how you can use these letters, you know, like of your grandchildren or your children or whatever in those frames. So let's get rid of that and let's go back to elements and let's look at what other frames. I don't know if there's anything else in particular that I wanted to show you. You can play with these and just see how they all work, the different kinds of things that that you can create with them. So we'll go back to uploads here again, and let's use this gal again and see how, whoops, I didn't leave it there. Okay, I'm struggling getting it pulled into there. That's not what I wanted either. You got to be careful. It pulls it into the background, so you got to make sure that you have it right where you want it before you release it. See, that's kind of cool. So those are some of the things that you can do with frames. Okay, so let's go back to elements again, and this time we're going to play with grids a little bit. So just type in grids, and here you will see a whole schmeal of grids that you can pick from. Up to just, I mean, you can see there's just tons and tons and tons of pictures on some of these. Some of these only have a couple of pictures. Now, I think I mentioned this before, that I hire out and do graphic design for people. And for that reason, I have the paid version of Canva. Now, I don't recommend, you know, that if you don't do hiring out, that you really need the paid version. I mean, if money is no issue, you know, you get lots of extra little things that you can do. But the free version, for most people, will get them everything that they need to create some fabulous graphics. Okay, so let's just click on one of these. So you might have noticed there that I tried dragging that over and that didn't really work. But if you click on it, then it fills that space. So then again, you've picked whatever grid it is you want to work with. You go back to your uploads and then you just drag them over. And again, Canva just automatically fills it. You have to double click on the image and arrange it the way that you want it to be arranged. Okay, so you can also do like the background. Let's make it, let's just go with a solid color. Right now, if you see between the pictures, you can see that it's white. Well, let's make that black. So you can kind of play with that. I like to select the whole thing like this just by clicking on it and make it just a little bit smaller than the space. And then I like to bring it in and kind of make that frame go all the way around the outside. Of course, you don't need to do that, but those are just some of the things that you can do playing with grids. Okay, so another thing that I said that we were going to do, and that is do overlay on text. Now, we worked on this some the other day, but I wanted to show you just a little bit more. And what I'm going to do here, we're going to go shapes. And again, we're always going back to elements to find these shapes and opportunities that we have. So, and we're just going to go very plain and start with this one. And what we did yesterday was we brought text like into these overlays. Whoops, I can't even spell today. And let's see, let's make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go, much better. Okay, so we did that, and we made the overlay panel there that we created a light color so that you could see through. But another thing that you can do is you don't necessarily, what you could do is, okay, so now I have all three of these selected. You could make them a little bit transparent if what you want to focus on is your text. And then you could actually, now this doesn't look very good because the, let's make this box red. We have everything too light. And then let's make this text, well, excuse me, let's make the text white. And let's get rid of the transparency here. But I seen this the other day where they were kind of overlapping the text, and the text was not cleared down. At least the main part of the text was not cleared down in the overlay box, but it was sticking up over the top. And I just thought that was kind of neat. And I just wanted to just kind of help and show you, give you some ideas of things that you can do. Because we're getting to the point here now where it's time to start being creative and learn different ideas and things that you can do. Okay, so now we're going to go home. We're going to create a Pinterest graphic, and we're just going to do this very quickly. Nothing fancy here, but I just want to show you how. Let's say that you have worked with this, you've changed your colors. There we go, finally got the color. Okay, so you've changed your colors, you've changed your background picture, you've uploaded, you know, whatever it is that you want to upload. Change the background picture. Now this makes, of course, got to drag it over here more carefully. Okay, so this makes no sense, but I'm just showing you how that you can change the whole resize of your graphic. So let's say that you've worked on this and you've got it just perfect, but you want to use it for more social media accounts than just Pinterest. So what you can do is you can go up here in the left-hand corner where I've got my pointer, and you can say resize, and you're going to resize this for a Facebook post. So the image that you have here now is perfect for Pinterest. Whoops, I touched it. So this is perfect for Pinterest, but we're going to have this resized for a Facebook post. So we're just going to say copy and resize, and see how that brings it in. And you don't have to do another thing to it if you don't want to. Now, of course, I would suggest tweaking it just a little bit. But the point is that all of the hard work you did can very easily convert to another size. So again, that's up under resize. We did a Facebook. Let's do a YouTube thumbnail. Copy and resize. I don't know how some of these will look, actually, because I haven't done this with a lot of these. But again, there you have an entirely resized graphic specific for YouTube, and you haven't had to recreate the whole process. So that is it for today, day 5. Tomorrow is day 6, and we're going to talk about getting the right colors for your graphics. And I am going to show you an amazing tool that Canva provides that will make sure that you get the exact proper tint of the colors that you want. So thank you very much, and we will see you in the next video.